this is over, and we are thankful, because this has been an absolute nightmare for us.
As my statement said, we're sentenced to life.
Yeah.
And I think any parent that's had this happen to them will tell you the same thing. You are sentenced to life.
A mother and daughter's desperate pleas fall on deaf ears. A dispatcher hangs up on a man who had just found his mother dead, while another faces disciplinary action after failing to help a frantic mother of a 10-month-old baby who locked himself in the car. Just after midday on April 2nd, 2008, 21-year-old Brittany Zimmerman made a panicked call to 911. It ended abruptly, and although there were audible sounds of distress, the dispatcher failed to call back. Less than an hour later, her fiancé, Jordan Gonering, found the apartment door kicked open and the lock broken. On the bedroom floor, Brittany lay unresponsive.
911, what's the address of the emergency? 911, what's the address of the emergency?
Hello?
This
Hello?
is 911, what's the
Yes.
address of the emergency? Repeat it? Is there an apartment number?
The flat.
It's what? You're cutting out. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Okay, your phone's cutting out. Did you say upper or lower flat?
Yes.
Which?
It's the lower flat, apartment 1.
Okay.
Ambulance is needed.
Okay, what's the phone number you're calling from, please? Okay, what is your name?
Jordan Gonering.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
I just came home, the door was busted in, and my girlfriend's been shot.
Okay. Stay on the phone with me. Okay?
Yep.
Are you with her right now?
Yes, I am.
How old is she?
She is, she's 21.
21? Is she conscious?
No, she's not.
Okay, stay on the phone, okay? Are you safe where you are right now?
I think so.
Okay. Is the person that did this still nearby? Is there any serious bleeding? She's been what? Okay, I'm sending an ambulance to help you. I want you to stay on the line with me so I can tell you what to do next, okay?
Okay.
Okay, stay on the phone with me so I can tell you how to help her, okay? I want you to get as close to the phone to her with the phone as you can, okay?
Yes.
Okay, and then you're right by her now?
Yes.
All right, I want you to lay her flat on her back on the ground.
Yep.
Remove any pillows.
Okay.
Okay. I need you to kneel next to her in her mouth and look in her mouth for any food or vomit. Is there anything? Okay. Did you think she did this herself?
No, she couldn't have.
She couldn't have done it herself.
No, there's gunshot wounds.
Hold on. You're inside with her? You're inside with her? Okay, can you feel or hear any breathing at all? Okay. Okay, just so you know, there's an ambulance on the way and the officers are on the way as well, okay?
Okay.
And I'm also talking to them at the same time that... Okay, is that you standing in the window?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to come out right now.
Yep.
So they can get in there to help her, okay?
Yep. Okay. All right, she told me to hang out with the officer.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
Officers arrived on the scene 48 minutes after the first 911 call. Brittany was dead, her body covered with injuries, including stab wounds to her chest, strangulation marks on her neck, and signs of blunt force trauma. Although detectives started the investigation that day, it would take over a decade before justice would be served. After conducting several interviews with neighbors, police believed a man, later identified as David Call, was their suspect, but a lack of concrete forensic evidence kept them from pressing charges. The 38-year-old lived about a mile from the crime scene and had been ringing doorbells and asking for money that day. When he was taken in for questioning, Call admitted to this, saying he was high. Additionally, Call told investigators that he was a paranoid schizophrenic who had stopped taking his medication, but he denied entering any homes or having any part in the murder. At the time, Call was on supervised release following convictions for failure to update his status in the sex offender registry, as well as driving while under the influence. Just 2 of the many convictions against him. And the repeat offender would find himself back in prison nearly 2 months after Brittany was killed. Detectives questioned Call numerous times over the following years. And while incarcerated in 2009, he sent a letter to police claiming that another inmate had committed the murder. In November 2010, Brittany's mother, Jean Zimmerman, spoke to NBC 15 in the hopes of increasing the reward money for finding her killer.
I cannot even imagine that I'm going to have to live the rest of my life without her. It is very difficult to get out of bed every day and function, and every day that goes by, it gets harder. It does not get easier. I fear that, yes, tomorrow could be a day, Tuesday could be a day that someone else dies.
Between 2010 and 2017, David Call would be in and out of prison. During this time, he told a fellow inmate, Andrew Scholes, that he feared being charged in Brittany's death due to incriminating fingerprints he claimed he left behind on her neck. Scholes had made an arrangement with the authorities in exchange for information, but then he died in a motorbike accident. Then crucial DNA test results matched the evidence left behind on Brittany's clothing to David Call. By this point, testing had advanced. It seemed like a break in the case. In reality, during a March 2018 interview, Kevin and Jean Zimmerman were still waiting for any answers or progress in the case.
Chief Koval came to our door on my husband's birthday and said, "We believe we have the person responsible for killing your daughter."
When the media questioned Madison Police Chief Mike Koval, he said the sole detective on the case had broken down and they had to create a team to carry on working to find Brittany's killer. However, it didn't seem like an arrest was on the horizon.
If I had the probable cause based on the totality of the evidence I had, don't you think I would have made an arrest?
As a result of active leads, the investigation would not be classified as a cold case, which stopped the Zimmerman family from being able to access the files and conduct their own investigation. It also gave a sense of hope that naming a suspect was imminent, but it would be another 2 years before David Call was arrested. At the same time, Brittany's family was in the midst of a lawsuit over the 911 call. Dispatcher Rita Gahagan, a veteran operator, had heard voices and background noise but didn't recognize a scream in the recording, resulting in the call being dropped without perceiving any distress. She did not call back, but instead returned a second call, which she logged as a misdial. Even this would be a contentious point since initial reports said the dispatcher had forgotten to call back. Gahagan defended herself, adamant she had only dropped the call after failing to hear anything suggestive of an emergency. Ultimately, the Zimmerman family reached a $5,000 settlement with Dane County, and the funds were redirected to Brittany's reward fund during the investigation. Several judges had rejected requests for the call to be made public. In fact, media outlets also engaged in a legal battle with Dane County over the records, particularly withholding the 911 calls. A settlement of $118,000 was reached, and still, the recordings of the call made by Brittany remained sealed. However, lawyers for the media were allowed to listen to it, and those who have heard it say there is no question about screaming in the audio. Finally, after 12 years of waiting, David Call was arrested on March 20th, 2020. His version of events was even more heartbreaking than imagined. Brittany had let the 38-year-old in as an act of kindness. She had refused to give Call money but let him use the bathroom. When he came out, she was on the phone. It's unclear whether this was the 911 call that dispatchers ignored. According to his attorney, the man panicked, grabbed the phone, and tried to strangle Brittany with her shirt. The attack didn't stop there. After the killer noticed the 21-year-old was still breathing, he grabbed a knife from the butcher's block in the kitchen and stabbed her 19 times. On January 20th, 2023, David Call eventually pleaded guilty to first-degree homicide and was sentenced to mandatory life in prison.
It was much more about him letting go of a secret and making sure that he provided closure to all of the people who have spent a lot of time and energy and emotion.
I could never live my last days not knowing who did this to her. What he did was unspeakable. And to not have the person responsible for that behind bars, it was unacceptable to us.
He decided to forego the opportunity to be considered for parole after serving 20 years, saying that the Zimmerman family had suffered enough. He had taken a life from them so he would give up his. Despite 26 documented calls to the police spanning over months, 2 British women were left stranded by those who were meant to protect them. 22-year-old Raneem Uday spoke to police 5 times in less than 2 hours, desperately needing intervention from the man who had been abusing her for years. In fact, she had court orders against him and witnesses to corroborate one of the attacks. But the call was flagged as a lower risk.
Hi. Actually, I called now. That's the 4th time to ask about the police. I'm waiting for them to come to my property regarding my ex-partner. He came and he hit me, and he actually harmed me and my mom as well. So I waited so long, and I'm waiting in the car. So
did you call on this mobile?
Yeah.
Do you know the log number?
Yeah. Can you give me a second? Can you just give me a second, please? Yeah, it's 26.
Yeah.
8626 again, and then 0818.
And what's your name?
Raneem Oda.
No, you didn't call on this number. You called on a different number.
No one called me. I haven't received any calls.
No. When you called the police, you didn't call on this mobile that you're calling on now.
No. I called
that's
for
what I asked
emergency.
you. And I asked you if you called on the mobile that you're calling on now. You said yes.
No, I called 3 times. So once I called from different number, and twice I called from my number.
Okay, well, we went to the location, but obviously you left and went home, so we're going to have to wait until there's another officer free.
Can you actually just keep it for tomorrow? Because I don't have the keys for the property, and I'm just waiting in the street from 2 hours now. So I'm just going to leave it to tomorrow, and please, you should do something about it. He should be arrested because I have non-molestation order against him. He can't even come nearby me. So he came and he actually beat me and beat my mom up in front of everyone. There is witness. There is many things. So he actually should be arrested without even the police come and see me.
Right. Okay. So where are you now?
I'm just going back to my mom now. I'm just going back. I just want you guys, please, to arrest him because...
I understand that. What's your mum's address?
Yeah.
And you're going there because you haven't got a key for your house?
I've been to my house. Yeah. I don't have the keys and I waited for long. So I'm going back to my mom now. I can't just stay in the street. And it's really late, and I'm worried he might come to my property and hurt me again, do something wrong.
Right, okay. And you want to see officers tomorrow?
Sorry?
You want to see officers tomorrow instead?
Yeah, but please, today he should be arrested. I can't just, I have a baby with me. I have 2.5-year-old child. He might hurt me or hurt the child. So it's just really dangerous. He's drunk as well. And he might just get a knife or something and do something to us.
Okay. All right, we'll go back to your mum's. If he turns up there, call 999, okay?
Okay, and are you going to do action against him, actually, or no?
I believe we'll need to come and see you first.
Okay, so you have to see me
first. We'll leave it with the local station, yeah, but we'll try and get out tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So you're going to leave him like this till tomorrow?
Well, it's down to the local station, what they want to do.
Local station.
But you need to go to your mum's and lock the door, and then if he turns up, call 999, okay? And we'll get someone to see you tomorrow.
That's the problem when I'm calling. They're not coming quickly. I've been waiting 2 hours now.
Yeah, because he had left, so the risk has been lowered. That's the issue. But now he's not there.
He might be waiting.
Now he's not there, so we have to go to other jobs where there are people there still. That's how it works. So you just go to your mum's and lock the door, and we'll try and see you tomorrow, okay?
Okay. But no, he actually followed me from my mom to the place where I was in the restaurant.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. It's been 2 hours.
He's waiting for me.
It's been 2 hours, so you need to go to. Okay, that's what you said you wanted to do. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.
Eventually, the department called her back.
Hello there. It's the police at Solihull here. Just to let you know, I've arranged an appointment tomorrow. Now, the officers come on duty at 8 o'clock in the morning, and in the morning, when they have a look through this incident, they will give you a call and arrange a time to come and see you at some point tomorrow in the morning, all right?
Okay, so 8 o'clock they have to see me or just go there?
No. They start work at 8 o'clock in the morning. They will have a look at the incident that you've reported, and they will make contact with you to arrange a suitable time. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
So somebody will make contact with you in the morning.
Okay. There is a witness as well. If you want.
Okay. We'll take all those details from you tomorrow. Do you have a copy of the order?
Yeah, you mean the number?
You do.
Or the non-molestation order?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I do have,
Okay,
yeah.
That's great. All right, so somebody will be in touch with you tomorrow then, okay?
Love, I just want to ask you, he will be arrested tomorrow or no?
It was too late. While Raneem was on the final phone call to police, John Boz Taryn repeatedly stabbed the 22-year-old and her mother, Kawala Salim, to death. On top of this, in the weeks leading up to the murders, there had been 7 separate police call-outs to John Boz's home, and Raneem had made 14 calls to report domestic abuse incidents. Still, officers failed to arrest or investigate the men before the tragedy. The couple met in college, but Raneem was still married to a man in Syria. However, despite her best efforts, the relationship fell apart. Once Raneem was single, John Boz started pursuing her more. Eventually, they started dating. Just months later, the couple was married under Islamic law. Her aunt, Noor Norris, was concerned about what John Boz had said on the wedding day.
Today you are mine, and in my culture, there's no divorce. The day you leave me, the day you go to your grave, I will kill you and your family.
But the marriage fell apart when Raneem discovered that her husband had a secret wife and 3 children in Afghanistan. She feared how he would react when she confronted him and recorded it on her phone.
It's not easy to find out everything, and you want me to smile at you.
I mean, how you want
so
to
if I find out now I'm cheating on you, you would smile at me after 2 minutes?
Hayati, I'm not cheating on you. I went to my wife.
Yeah.
She's my wife.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not cheating on you.
So you made her pregnant, that's not cheating?
No, because she's my wife.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Going to your wife and making her pregnant, that's actually finished everything. I will just get divorced from you, get separate. You really need to deal with it. With divorce.
Raneem moved back to her mother's house for a short while, but John Boz manipulated her to get back together with him. Things only worsened, so she secretly recorded evidence of his violent outbursts to protect herself and her son.
I can now call the police, you know, I can tell them. I can tell them every single thing, how many times you beat me up. Yeah. They will take you to jail straight away. I can call them, tell them many things about you, John. Yeah? So I'm not doing anything. If there is even a space for you, there is no more.
Neighbors began documenting the arguments between the couple too.
There was one occasion where the neighbors actually got involved and chased him out of the building.
Again, Raneem moved to her mother's house and took out a court order against John Boz, but he continued to harass and threaten her for 4 months, even sleeping outside the house for nearly 2 weeks. By August 26, 2018, it all came to a head. Raneem and Kawala were seen arguing with John Boz in a shisha lounge in Birmingham. He slapped both women in the face and angrily snatched a phone from Raneem before staff escorted him out. After being kicked out, the 21-year-old was seen driving past the venue, making a throat-slitting gesture towards the women. Just hours later, the mother and daughter were killed. Once he had committed the brutal murders, John Boz fled the scene and shaved off his beard to disguise himself. Before disappearing, he was seen on CCTV in a chicken shop. A major manhunt was launched, with the killer's face appearing across the news. Finally, 3 days later, someone recognized John Boz from the media appeal, and he was arrested by officers. Family members of the victims held the police accountable for not preventing the tragic deaths. This claim was later substantiated by an inquest that scrutinized the actions of the authorities in handling the situation. The evidence, which included multiple calls to the police and court documents, unequivocally pointed to the West Midlands Police failures in protecting Ranim and Kaula. These lapses, as determined by the inquest, were significant contributing factors to the tragic outcome. Further reinforcing this, an investigation by the Independent Office for Police Conduct identified missed opportunities, demonstrating that the authorities could have intervened effectively to prevent the murders. In December 2018, John Buzz Tarrant pleaded guilty to the 2 murders and was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 32 years. This dispatcher hung up on a man who had just found his mother dead.
911 emergency. What's your address?
Get somebody in my house. I just got off work. I think my mom's dead.
What's your address?
Oh my God, I can't think.
I'm going to get medical on the line. Don't hang up the line. 1 moment.
Please.
He's saying that he thinks his mom's passed away. I don't have the address.
Yeah, please.
Ma'am.
I'm a guy.
Stop. Okay, then calm down a little bit. I need a building number. What's your Okay. Is she breathing at all? Okay, you don't have to holler at me. I didn't do it. Okay? Bye. Okay, listen, we have the call. Medical and officers are going to be responding. Was she sick? What happened?
Man, I don't know. I just got off work. I just worked like 12 hours today. Man, my mom.
Hanging up on someone who has called 911 for help seriously violates how the emergency service operates, but the dispatcher kept her job. The original call taker, from the Metro Police Department, remained on the line. An internal investigation by Las Vegas Fire and Rescue found that the female employee made critical failures but would not be fired. She faced corrective action, but what that actually means remains unclear. But following the January 2014 call, the department said it was moving forward with plans for a new quality assurance position. Meanwhile, this frantic mother's call also led to a 911 Tampa dispatcher facing disciplinary action. After leaving a Tampa supermarket, Shana Dees placed her son Jack inside his car seat, shut the door, and returned the shopping cart. In that short time, Jack, who had the keys to play with, locked the not yet running car, which also held Shana's purse and phone. Luckily, she found a stranger in the parking lot who let her borrow a phone to call 911, but the dispatcher wasn't very helpful.
Tampa Police 911.
Hi, my infant son is locked in the car in the parking lot. He had the keys and hit the lock button when I was loading groceries in. And it's so hot outside. I'm concerned. I don't think I have time to call AAA before he would, suffer heat exhaustion. Can somebody come out and open the door, or I don't even know if that's something you guys do.
They won't be able to try to gain access to the car unless the child is in some kind of distress. But by that point, they may just smash your windows.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Not unless the child's in distress. I'm sorry. I must have...
Roughly 8 minutes after the call ended, an off-duty police officer took notice and called 911, getting a different operator who immediately asked where they were.
911, what is your emergency?
Hey, how you doing? Is this Tampa PD?
Yeah, this is 911. What's your emergency?
How you doing?
Okay.
Baby locked in a car.
Okay, where they at? Okay, is that a house or a residence or a business or?
CVS pharmacy.
All right. How old is the child?
It's in a car seat, baby.
A baby? Okay. What kind of car is it?
It's a black Acura.
You know what year?
Don't know.
Is the person there who owns the car?
Yes.
Okay. Could you find out from her, please?
She's a little distraught. You want her license plate number?
Yeah, that'll be fine. All right. Great. Thank you so much. Is the vehicle running or no?
No, it's turned off.
Okay. Turned off. All right. What's your name?
Hi.
Oh, okay. Hey, how you doing? Okay.
She said she called 911 and they said they're not going to come out if the baby's not in distress.
No, that's not true. Not at all.
Yeah, okay.
Not at all. We'll be out there for her, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
At that time of year, the average afternoon temperature hovers in the high 80s to low 90s. Of course, that rises considerably in a car that isn't running and has no windows down. In the meantime, another shopper broke the passenger side window with a wrench before police arrived. Tampa police conceded that the dispatcher should have been more aggressive and asked for location, but said that the operator did not refuse to send an officer and that the mother ended the call. The dispatcher was disciplined for the incident. For more true 911 calls, watch this episode next.